You're listening to The Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with Lyndia Grant.
Radio 1 listeners, thank you for tuning in to The Lyndia Grant Show. We're always happy to be here with you every Friday. Today's date is Friday, September the 27th. We're getting close now to fall back, which is, I think, coming up around November the 4th. So I always look forward to that extra hour. I'm excited. We have this week an exciting guest in our second half. I'd like to tell you who's coming on. The president of the Friends of the Carter Barron, Miss Gloria Hightower. She's going to have an exciting comedy show along with some other entertainment at the Lincoln Theater October the 6th, but just listen to the show to get the details. And she's going to have Special K from the Steve Harvey Morning Show and some other, he's famous, so you all know who he is. And so, but now let's go to Dr. Julianne Malveaux, who is President Emeritus of Bennett College. She's been the president for years for Push Excel, and she travels all over the place speaking. Dr. Julianne, what in the world is going on with politics? I'm not liking some of the stuff I'm hearing about, what is it you call him? The Orange Man.
Well, I'll get to him. I will get to him. But at the top of my list is what's going on, at the United Nations. The United Nations General Assembly is meeting this week, or met this week. They began on Monday, and they've continued. Two people that are there talk to me about the mood is gloomy and doomy. People are very worried about what's happening in the Middle East. Israel sent pages with the explosives in them to people in Lebanon. In any case, it's just ugly. Israel has bombed Hezbollah with drones and rockets. They say they're striking hard. At least 500 civilians have been killed, not to mention military people. They're claiming that they took out the leader of Hezbollah. Now, here's one thing we need to understand. Hezbollah and Hamas are not the same thing. See, Hamas is the one who attacked Israel on October 7th. Hezbollah and Hamas are both connected to Iran. So often people just conflate them, but these Lebanese citizens who've been displaced from their homes, basically they haven't done anything wrong. And so we basically have a challenge where, if you poke a bear, the bear is going to fight back. And Hezbollah has more resources than Hamas does. Hezbollah is very well armed. And so many have basically warned Hezbollah and Israel and Hamas to lower the temperature. But it's not clear that the temperature is going to be lowered when Israel says they're going to strike hard. They don't care who they hit. One of the things they said was that, this is just a price of war. Of the 500 civilians hit, at least 100 of them were women and children. So this becomes a problem. Now, President Biden, the new president of Iran, Pezeshkian, gave his debut speech at the United Nations this week. He actually also talked about lowering the temperature. However, his conversation did not go so well with his most conservative people at home in Iran. They're angry with him to the point that he had a press conference that was later canceled because they didn't like the message he was sending, which was one of it, at least somewhat conciliatory. Now, I won't say completely conciliatory, but somewhat conciliatory. And people are going to have to move off their hard lines, but people are not trying to do that. So now this was the 79th UN General Assembly meeting, the 79th, and President Biden's last. He's spoken to them every year for the past 3 years. This is his fourth and last speech. He is working very hard to try to stop the regional war, which could turn into World War III, despite the escalation that we're observing. I mean, it just doesn't feel good to see what's going on. But he says that peace is possible. He says peace is possible. And I admire him for his efforts, yet no one has been willing to be more critical of Israel. I understand. If you believe that Israel has a right to exist, then you have to, at some level, say, okay, what's going on here? But the flip side is, do Palestinians have a right to exist? Should they have been pushed out of their land year after year after year? These are the questions that we have to ask, and when people ask those questions, what happens? If they are asking them too hard, they lose their congressional seats, like Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush in New York and St. Louis, respectively. Yes. So somehow there has to be a possibility of a conversation that does cause someone to be canceled. Chinese Foreign Minister Min Wang Yi said that the Israeli attack on Hezbollah and on Lebanon, and he emphasized it's not an attack on Hezbollah, it's an attack on Lebanon. And he said this violates the basic norms of international relations. So this is what we have. We have escalation with the possibility of peace. The President Biden working very hard at it. But when Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, say we're going to do whatever we have to, basically, now it's not just Hamas, they're also looking at Hezbollah. Now, I'm going to stop there for just a sec, take my breath.
And you got 2.5 minutes.
2.5, oh Lord, I'm going to have to talk fast. We have to talk about Harris-Trump. They're neck to neck in some polls where she's ahead in others. There's tomfoolery on the Republican side. Tomfoolery is the only way you can call it. The orange man is still repeating lies about cats and dogs and Haitians. Even though the mayor, the governor, everyone else has said this is just not the truth. But he just keeps lying. He can't stop lying. J.D. Vance is doing the same thing. Meanwhile, tomfoolery in North Carolina, Mark Robertson, the lieutenant governor, running for governor, his whole staff has quit, or almost all of his staff has quit. They've caught him on pornography sites, saying all kind of vile things, including slavery should come back so he could get him some slaves. Look, okay, I'm not going to waste much more time on him. I'm going to move quickly to the death penalty, something we don't often talk about. But this week, beginning in September 20th, 5 people are scheduled to be executed. 5. Even though in at least 2 cases, there's some doubt about whether they were guilty or not. We should remember, Lyndia, that 41% of the people on death row are African American. Even where there's just 13% of the population. One of the most egregious cases is Marcellus Williams, 24 years on death row in Missouri. There's definite evidence that he may not be guilty. There are procedural errors. The prosecution excluded all but one of the potential black jurors, and there is some evidence of mishandling evidence. In other words, there's a knife that he was alleged to have used. Well, they found DNA evidence of the attorneys, so they mishandled the evidence. In any case, the Supreme Court just late Tuesday evening rejected all the appeals, and so it's likely, and we, of course, we record on Tuesday, so we're not sure, but I'm 99% sure that they will kill this man. And like I said, there are 5 others: Alabama, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina. That man was killed on Friday, September 20th in Texas. 200 people who have been on death row have been exonerated. Wesley Bell, who's the prosecutor, moved to vacate Mr. Marcellus Williams' case in 2011. His attorney says killing him will be irreversible damage. Yet, the courts have said they're going to do it anyway. So even though we don't talk about death penalty a lot, when we talk about justice issues, we have to think about this death penalty and how it disproportionately affects black people.
I heard it on TV this week, Dr. J. I was shocked when I heard it, too. So thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for that. It was great information. And I'm so glad you were here with us today. We're going to go to our commercial break, and we'll see you back here again next week.
Absolutely. Take good care.
All right.
If it wasn't for my care coach at AmeriHealth, I probably wouldn't be so healthy right now. As a man, you know we don't get checkups or see a doctor regularly anyways. It's probably just a man thing because none of my partners go either. We know we should, but we just don't, and hope it works out.
So what changed for you?
AmeriHealth assigned me a care coach, somebody that gives one-on-one help, answer questions, explain things, and help set my appointments. She also helped me understand what having high blood pressure really means and ways to manage it so it doesn't kill me. It ain't nothing to play with. If you're a member of AmeriHealth, ask for a care coach. I'm glad I got mine.
At AmeriHealth, if you need a care coach, you can have one. Just call us at 1-877-759-6224 to get connected. 1-877-759-6224. This program is funded in part by the government of the District of Columbia Department of Healthcare Finance. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Washington and former religion columnist Lyndia Grant.
Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery bus. In lectures on brotherhood, Ms. Parks often said, "People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was tired. But that wasn't true. I was not tired physically. I was not old. I was 42. No, the only tired I was tired of giving in." Driven out of Montgomery by harassment and death threats, Detroit, Michigan became her new home. Rosa Parks will always be remembered as the mother of the civil rights movement. Raised in the AME church, she once said, "I remember finding such comfort and peace while reading the Bible."
Read more in the religion column of the Washington Informer, an award-winning African-American newspaper. We don't report crime or gossip, just positive news. Pick up the Washington Informer or visit us online at washingtoninformer.com. Call 202-561-4100 for more information.
This is Frank Smith with the African American Civil War Museum in Washington, D.C., located at 1925 Vermont Avenue Northwest on the Green Line. Did you know that a recent study found that children who visit museums do better in school and in life than children who do not? So parents, teachers, and preachers, let's get moving. I promise you, if you bring your children to the African American Civil War Museum, they will be inspired by the images that they see. They will be impressed by our living history reenactors who are always available, and they will be involved in our scavenger hunt that takes them throughout our exhibit. That's the African American Civil War Museum, 1925 Vermont Avenue. Our hours are 10 to 6:30 on weekdays, 12 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays. See it. Be inspired.
And we are back. You're listening to the Lyndia Grant Show. We're back from our commercial break. I am so excited about our second guest we have on with us this evening. We have the one and only Gloria Hightower. She is the president and founder of the Friends of the Carter Barron. She's been a friend of mine now for probably more than 25 years. She has been hosting dynamic shows to support the Carter Barron Amphitheater over the years with all types of world-renowned talent, a lot of media. You might see her on Fox TV. She's got yet another exciting show coming up in early October. And she has a couple of her special guests and from her board members on the show with us today. I want to say welcome to today's show, Gloria Hightower, and to your guests. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, Lady Lyndia Grant, and good evening to your wonderful patrons of the Lyndia Grant Show. It's always a pleasure to be before you and to provide information on the status of the living monument, the Carter Barron Amphitheater.
I know that's right. Well, you have an exciting comedy show coming up. And I am so delighted that I know some of your guests. I have a Special K bio. Do you want to introduce him, or you want me to go ahead and give out his bio?
Well, you know what? I think he can introduce himself as well as my new executive board member, Mr. Pendergrass. So they are ready, honey.
Go right ahead. You got the show, Gloria Hightower.
Mr. Pendergrass, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, how y'all doing? My name's Erwin Pendergrass, man, Washingtonian, president of Tricky Entertainment, man, you know, part of this great organization that we got, the Friends of the Carter Barron. And I'm looking forward to this show we got with my man Special K and the crew. We're going to get it in. Yep.
And Brother Special K, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am a comedian and syndicated radio personality, K Douglas, a.k.a. Special K. Father, brand new grandfather, as a matter of fact. Got a little 1-year-old grandbaby running around here, just turned 1 over the weekend. So, so I'm chasing toddlers all week long. And, I'm here, and I'm happy to be a part of this fantastic foundation thing that we're doing this weekend, that we're doing. Mm-hmm. And, I'm just looking forward to it, looking forward to showcasing my talents and giving folks something to laugh about. Because there's a whole lot of serious things going on in the world right now. People need that little break every now and then.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, welcome, all of you all. Gloria, tell them about where it's going to be and how they can get tickets. We're really excited about it. Gloria comes out 3 and 4 times a year, you all, quarterly. I don't know how she does it because it's a lot of work, but she keeps putting on these dynamic shows. Tell us about this show.
Well, this is, we had the first Where Comedy Meets DC Go-Go last year, and it was such a great turnout because of the mastermind of Mr. Erwin Pendergrass, our newest executive member, and we're doing part 2. And part 2 is this year, and we change up on the headliner, and the headliners are Tony Rock and Brother Special K. They are going to turn it out Sunday, October the 6th.
Yes, indeed.
You better believe it.
They're going to turn it out. So, I tell you, it's when you're putting on a concert, you got to have people that really know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And before you even get to the performing aspect, we've never had the drive of patrons that are breaking doors down to get their tickets to come in. And I would love for Mr. Erwin Pendergrass to just share a little bit why he decided to be an executive member before we get to Special K, who has graced us from Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a real easy one, man. Growing up in Washington, D.C., if you don't know the history of the Carter Burn and all the good times that we've had as African Americans and everything that, the shows and everything that we've been through at the Carter Burn, man, you must have been under a rock somewhere. So when Gloria called me and told me to be a part of the reopening of the Carter Burn, I'm 10 toes down. We got to get it.
That's right.
So, and then, whatever my expertise may be in the concert world and bringing people together, I just happily give it to her, and then, together we can do what we got to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Having both Erwin Pendergrass as our concert manager along with Brian Dickens, we cannot ever go wrong. We just cannot, Lady Lyndia. We just cannot. And, to have someone from the Ricky Smiley Show, who is a comedian, to come from Los Angeles and he's also friends with Tommy, nephew Tommy, and Steve Harvey, and his own manager, supervisor, Ricky. It's just a blessing to have these cats to come and to deliver their specialized skills in the performing arts unlike ever before. I just want to keep giving people the taste of what quality performance is all about. Tell them a little bit, Special K, why you decided to participate with this cause of reopening Carter Burn, in particular as a comedian, because we need to laugh, like you said, because we got so many things we're dealing with in this world.
Well, I always look forward to opportunities to work with good friends of mine. Tony Rock is one of those people, very good friend of mine. The two of us combined, we both have over 20, 25 years of experience in the game of being on stage, being professional comedians. I always enjoy working with that brother. He's a hilarious dude. I think our styles complement one another. We both kind of at that same stage in our life. And, so we both offered interesting yet different perspectives on things that make us laugh, and it's very relatable to the crowd. I just look forward to. I love well put together situations. I love working with really professional people that know how to put a good function together and have everything in order. I appreciate that. I'm at that stage in my career where I don't like to have to deal with a whole bunch of foolishness. And, we have a good crowd.
I know that's right. Yes.
Yeah, a good crowd that wants to come out and just laugh, have a good time.
That's right. Yes.
We don't do the kind of comedy that gets people real upset and hurt folks' feelings and all that. We're just two funny dudes, man, that really enjoy showing our craft, showcasing our craft in these type of situations. And if it's for a good cause, that makes it even better. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really excited about it.
Yes, indeed. Now, Gloria, the date is October what?
It's Sunday, October the 6th, and the football game is over for the Reds, for the Commodores, Commanders, So we want to make sure you get there at the historic Lincoln Theater at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now on Ticketmaster. But we want to make sure that everybody understands that Carter Barron is going to reopen. Yes, it costs $30 million, and you know what? And the thing is that this is a public awareness, an opportunity to get the National Park Service, we hope, out this time to tell everybody so that they can be at ease that our living monument that President Truman sanctioned for the founding fathers of America on August the 4th, 1950, will be reopening. And guess what? Tony Rock and Special K and Mike Brooks and the Go-Go Band DC Vibe will be there to turn it out.
Yes, they will. Gloria, thank you. That is so good. We look forward to it. All right. Well, is there any closing comments you all want to give? Tell the people one more time where to get their tickets, or give them a phone number or website.
Well, the website is www.friendsofcarterbarron.org, www.ticketmasters.com. You can get your tickets. Brother Erwin, you want to add anything for our patrons that are coming out that they can call regarding tickets and further information?
Right. So that's the best way to go. They also have them at the box office at the Lincoln Theater if you're in the area. Right, and I also want to add that we're going to have a couple special guest artists, local too, that's going to come on the stage and get down with us. So don't forget the element of surprise. We're going to have a good time come October the 6th. Trust that.
That's right. Tricky Entertainment is supporting this effort as well, and we're so elated. I wanted to just quickly say thanks to the D.C. Office of Cable TV Film, Events D.C., Hyatt, Convention Center Hotel, Pepco, Charmaine Street, UPO, and we will see your patrons, Lady Lyndia Grant, there.
Yes, you will. All right. Well, we are so glad that you all have been on today to tell the listeners about yet another exciting show coming to the Lincoln Theater, the historic Lincoln Theater on U Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. We invite you all to please get your tickets, come out and be prepared for an exciting show, and be there for Special K. And what is his partner's name?
Tony Rock.
It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you all. And Special K, did you want to say anything for the close?
I just want to say that again. I'm so glad to be a part of this whole organization and this whole event. And I'm just looking forward to coming up, doing a great show, and sending everybody home with smiles on their faces. So, I look forward to it.
All right. I know that's right. All right, then. Well, thank you all for being my guest today. And that does it for our show this week. We hope you have enjoyed listening to Dr. Julianne Malvo and to my friend Gloria Hightower to share all about her next show that's coming up. We always close with this. Words, thoughts, and deeds have a boomerang effect. So be careful what you send out, because we do become what we think about. That's a quote by Alan Rufus. And the scripture says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Thank you for tuning in. We invite you back again to the Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things again next Friday. Good day.
Thank you for listening to the Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with your host, Lyndia Grant.